into for starters this morning. NDC 24-hour economy misled youth. That's according to Oppong Nkrumah. It's a big banner story on the front page this morning. Interior Ministry introduces automated fire compliance safety system. Heath Goldfields records first gold pour ignites local economy. President Mahama commissions B5 plus steel plant. Garmanche discharged from UGMC after car crash.
It's actually Garmanche.
Gan.
Yeah, I don't like the Garmanche. And sometimes they themselves say Garmanche. It is Garmanche.
Garmanche.
It's not Garmanche.
Gamami.
Yes, Gamami.
Yes.
Garmashi.
Gamashi.
Yes.
And the land.
The Gan.
Yeah.
It's there. It's
It's
enforced.
the general PT.
There's no Gan Traditional Council.
It's Gan.
Yes, Gan Traditional Council. It's not Garmanche. It's Garmanche.
Manche
yeah.
has been discharged. The president visited him, I think over the weekend while he was still on admission at the UGMC.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that he was able to make his way out of the hospital. The Daily Graphic, B5 Plus pioneers 24-hour economy, president reveals at expanded plan commissioning. Government bans land transit of cooking oil. Finance Minister orders crackdown on customs complicity. And Q1 graphic business Stanbic Bank breakfast meeting tomorrow. Experts to discuss urban transport system. You know, this story about government banning land transit of cooking oil takes me back to, the Lord bless his soul wherever he is, Professor John Evans at Mills.
Right.
In the wake of that expose by Anas, Arimi Anas, the corruption at the port, he went to the port without the usual security detail and the wheel, a lot of the noise.
The sirens and everything.
Spoke passionately
He wept, actually.
to our custom officials about what it is they were doing to the country. And it's one of the fondest memories I have of him.
Right.
And why many have argued that he was one of the best presidents who actually didn't live long enough to help better the lot of this country. And that was one of the many instances people will look back to and when they have that conversation, speak so fondly of him.
You know what?
10 years down the line,
You
we're
know
having
what
similar conversations
Oliver
again.
Bakaboma said? He said, customs, they are not against Ghana. They are the weapon fashioned against Ghana.
Because
I mean, it doesn't just make sense. And I'm
85
happy
million
that the
cedis.
finance minister says that somebody has to take the fall for it.
yeah,
And it's not just one individual. It is actually supposed to be a cartel. Because there's so much money. The cooking oil companies may be threatening to say that, look, we are checking out because they know that they paid the taxes or they paid some monies, which in their estimation believed that they were the taxes. I would urge the minister to go deeper into the conversation to also find out if they got the right tariffs and they have the receipts to prove that they actually paid it before they start threatening us that they want to check out.
because we are trying to clean and sanitize
Exactly.
the system.
But you see, it goes back to the conversation we had. Well, you're not here last week, Friday, because you had a graduation. But conversation I had with George. These days, when you talk to the young people, they want to go to SEPS or customs. They want to go to immigration. And they have specific places they want to go, MPA. And you ask them, what is there that we don't know about?
That we didn't go
Yes, that
ourselves.
we
and
didn't
we
go
are
asking.
seated here, we are talking.
And they call you and they say, Charlie, I want to go here. And I say, but you have a job already. I have a job. You have a job. So what is inside that corner that you want? So the levels of corruption, and to think that we have invested so much money in ICOMs and all those other digitalization and whatever. Look, you can't get to the port, Marina, if you have ever had to clear anything from the port before. You can't get to the port and have just one person do everything for you. You have to go through a series of processes, right? At the port, there are BNI officers. At the port, there are police officers. At the port, there are military officers. At the port, there are customs officers of the customs division of GRA. They are there. At the port, there are all the security officers there. So how is it that you have a place that is crowded by so much security that still has this problem? It has to take the vigilance of national security and GRA to say that, look, we suspect this, let's stop. And can you imagine?
The ones that have gone past.
And these are supposed to be, they are not supposed to be transit products. So they are already on the market. And that is why you go sometimes to the market, you find a certain cooking oil or chocolate or something, and then you start reading the label, and it's in India, or it's in Chinese or Mandarin or something. You don't understand, but you consume anyway because the packaging looks nice. Do you know what you are consuming? So it's painful. Very, very painful to think that this is happening for people who will get that. By this time, what's today's date?
23rd.
23rd. In 2-3 days, they will get their salaries. If they don't get their salaries, they'll start calling you. Oh, Johnny, when a salary no come, oh, Charlie, you go talk something for me. But you people are robbing us. Because I don't collect taxes.
Yeah.
I am not Zacchaeus to be collecting taxes. Neither am I Judas to be keeping the money. So what's going on?
The rob us dry, and then they'll be living large. Then later years down the
line, somebody enters customs or immigration,
and in a few years
they have mansions, and you check their salary and what they have. You see the number of vehicles they have, and you start asking yourself, Charlie, what's going on?
You see, and I think the other thing this does is that it also opens up the conversation about the fact that, yes, we scrutinize our politicians, and by heavens we must. But public sector workers, they go completely under the radar.
Right.
Nobody checks them. Nobody is asking the question, does your salary correspond to the properties and buildings that you own and have? Nobody asks that question.
Because the politicians go about distributing money, making promises, and taking on people's problems and making them their problems. Do you see any customs officer going around to say, Obama pay your school fees? They'll tell you, what's salary? No, go for you. They will show you their pay. No, go for you. It's 4,325 pesos.
Yeah, but
they will show you that.
Absolutely.
To tell you that, this is how much I earn. Whatever he's making on the side, he would never let you know. He will never tell you. The politician, you and I know how much they earn.
And so if they are living large,
we can easily say it. But these guys, we don't know what their salary scale is, right? But we see that they are doing stuff. So now every young person says, I want to join GRA, I want to go to customs, I want to go to immigration, I want to go to Ministry of Finance, I want to go to Cocoa Board, I want to do this. What is there that we don't know about? You should be telling us.
Yeah. So it's leading me to think that, is it because they are not openly displaying wealth?
Well,
they're going completely under the radar. We should not have bodies interested, because you and I both seated here know very well what happens there and why young people are seeking to go there.
That's right.
And yet for a very long time, everybody plays the ostrich. Everybody pretends as if, nothing happens there. And yet we know that we lose millions, if not billions, through those respective institutions to corruption. And yet we've allowed that continue to stay. Former President Wenden was crying.
Look, Marvin, I'll tell you something that is sickening in this country. You see the Auditor General's report that we see and start shouting and say, hey, they chop so much, hey, all this money, hey. Do you know that before the Auditor General's report is written, at the beginning of the year, the audit service itself will go. They'll go around the country, all the institutions. Aside the internal audit systems that they have, audit service will
go to every institution.
Every institution. BNI, They will go around every institution. Then the parliamentary select committee that you see, right? They will also go around every institution. How is it that you have 3 layers of
Checks.
auditing,
Yeah.
plus the internal auditing, and you still have what it is that we see? And sometimes they will tell you that before these groupings come, they prepare the Adoko fuel and put it together, waiting for them.
Yeah, when they come to say, oh, sit here and relax.
But when we are sending them from Accra or wherever we are sending them from, we make provision for their hotel, their transportation, and their feeding. But when they get there, the institution also makes provision for something like that, and they take. So how would the auditing be properly done? You are the auditor. Phil has sent you to come and audit me. Phil has given you transport. He has given you accommodation. And he has given you food. So you are comfortable. Then you come to me. And I also provide transportation, accommodation, and food. How would you audit me?
Corrupted.
So there's a rumor that those who do not play ball are the ones who come and we see them on TV being disgraced. Because it doesn't make sense that somebody will keep millions of the country's money in his personal account, meant for the state, in his personal account. And my good friend Jonathan Syme of ADB will tell you, if you give him 1 million cedis today and say you come for it next 2 weeks, the kind of turning around that he can do for you within a short time and the monies that he will make, the dividends that he will make off it, you have no idea. There are people who are like sharp in that direction. They know where to put your money.
Yeah.
They know where to pick it and put it. And by the time you come back in 2 weeks, they'll tell you, I made this much. This is my percentage of what we made. This is your percentage. Go and put the money here. So sometimes the monies that delay, people's monies that delay that they have to be paid, their salaries that delay that they have to be paid, oh, our allowances have not been paid, blah, blah, blah.
Investments.
The money is moving somewhere. So if somebody is taking the country's money to put in his personal account when there is the institution's account and keeps it for more than a year and only appears before the public accounts committee and they say, go and pay back the money. And we don't ask him whether he's paying with interest or how much he would have earned if he had invested it for him to pay as penalty. Are we really auditing or are we doing crocro de John? We are doing crocro de John. That's what we are doing.
And sometimes, and sometimes when we have conversations like these, it can be. It looks like we're in an endless spiral of hopelessness, and nothing can really.
Look, I was watching the Public Accounts Committee.
Yeah.
Abino Seasari, the Honorable Abino Seasari,
Yeah.
MP for Tiwa East or West, one of the constituencies, by this one of the Tiwa constituencies. She was asking very tough questions. Just about a year and a half ago, she was the one sitting next to Reverend Amishadai, whose contract at the time had ended. And you know what it means? When your contract ends, you don't have the authorization to sign on things.
Yeah.
But he had signed on to things. And she was the one determining whether the question that was asked was public spirited or not and defending the person. Meanwhile, in August of 2021 or so, 5th August, she was the one who had authored a letter on behalf of the Ministry of Finance per cabinet decision that no government contracts will be extended. So I was just looking at her when she was acting all tough. That, this is Ajana 1 that you did in the past with Reverend Amishadai after writing this letter while you were in government. And this is Ajana 2 that you are doing in opposition. It's the same group of people, though. The same set of people. And sometimes you, look, this cocoa board conversation that we have about jute sacks being bought and then the jute sacks didn't finish and we ordered another and then they didn't finish and we ordered another and we have a lot in store, blah, blah, blah.
There are some at the ports with
the conversation will come to the Public Accounts Committee table. You will hear the answers. You will give me my stone. Let's check out the headlines.
Let me finish on the back page of the graphic. Kotoko returns to winning ways. Hearts falter again. That's on the back page. The BNFT, tomato crisis, broken dams, farmers' plight, traders' nightmare. GSE reinforces guardrails to limit price engineering. Revenue, all 6 missing tracks located in 85 million cedis transit case. Agri Impact Group founder is chairman of CRI board. MTN elevates major subsidiary as investment surge. Those are the beacon. Yeah, those are the details.
Well, on the front page of the Ghanaian Times this morning, it says scrap export ban to generate $300 million annually. President Mahama says that's a story on page 29. Also, 85.3 million tax evasion. Cooking oil must exit through the seaports. Finance Minister orders. Latif Idrisu identifies alleged attacker in video evidence. And also, Interior Minister launches digital fire safety compliance system to transform fire safety compliance. On the back page, 2026 FIFA World Cup fans don't need tickets to apply for US visa. Charge their fares. And Brekum Chelsea stretch hearts in Accra. Vision FC edge Bichim United in 5-goal GPL thriller. The Republic Press this morning says dirty pure water, that's inverted commas, flood Kasua and a lot of typhoid. I'm told is on the rise. Oppong Nkrumah throws shade at 24-hour bill. And Obrache SHS student hospitalized after assault at district games. And I saw that and I was so disappointed. Students pelting stones at their colleague and literally beating him to pop. What kind of a lawless society have we become?
That he may have passed, but I can't confirm that. So
well, Court finds 2,400 cedis each for illegal possession of firearm. Teen arrested over assault on Ridge Hospital security guard. Good. Ghana Police, thank you very much. GTech shuts down Royal Nursing College. They don't have accreditation, I'm sure. You see the GTech thing we're talking about. The News Center, 24-hour economy bill won't deliver youth jobs. Oppong Nkrumah says so. Let's see. NAPCO code. And no trucks missing in transit diversion reports, according to the ICOMS. Hey. 1.1 billion US dollars to be invested in Ghana's network expansion in 3 years. MTN Group CEO says so. And cocoa protest politically engineered, according to Mahama Yariga, who is the majority leader. Angry cocoa farmers converge on Cocoa Board headquarters grounds. On the back page, we have a few banks telling us how they are faring, but I'm interested in NIB because my money is there as well as a Ghanaian taxpayer. NIB donates 1 million Ghana cedis to Ghana Armed Forces. Yo, if you don't make profit there, we'll come for you. Yo, anyway.
Let me try and do the online portals just quickly. 3news.com, 24-hour economy authority bill will not deliver 24-hour work cycle. Young ones have been deceived. You can guess who this one is from. Oppong Nkrumah has been saying it's everywhere. I think he was on hot issues with Kemeni Amano. That's where that came from. Ghana climbs to 8th richest in Africa under Mahama. That's according to the Labour Minister. It's on myjoyonline.com and City Newsroom as well. SEMSE is saying Ghanaians overpaid 1.5 billion cedis for power as they demand a tariff cut in the regions of some 11%. Let me get into the details.
Okay.
And Oppong Nkrumah's story is everywhere, and so perhaps
we'll begin with that.
Yeah, we'll begin with that. And the National Democratic Congress government has been accused of failing to deliver on the jobs promised unemployed youth under the 24-hour economy policy. Now, according to the Member of Parliament for Ofuasia Yerebi, Oppong Nkrumah, the Mahama-led government cited the 24-hour economy policy, specifically the 133 shift system as its flagship program to address youth unemployment in the lead up to the 2024 elections. He, however, noted during an interview that following the recent passage of the 24-hour authority bill and subsequent assent by the president, the 133 shift system was not included in the bill. Mr. Oppong Nkrumah said the concept the NDC sold to the young people of the country was that they were going to turn the 8-hour cycle into a 24-hour cycle, listen agencies in the public sector that were going to work around the clock. Now here's a quote from him. I regret to say that they have deceived the young people of this country. The 133 that they gave us was nowhere in the bill, he disclosed, and added, when I raised the issue on the floor of Parliament, Chairman of the Finance Committee, Isaac Adongo, said it doesn't need to be 133, it could be 122. And we said, no problem. If it is 122, put it in the bill. The lawmaker noted that the minority sought an amendment to include the 133 shift system and the list of government agencies that will run the shift system in the bill. But the majority objected. So he asked a question. So what they've created is a very, very crafty institution to dangle in the face of young Ghanaians that the authority of the 24-hour bill has been passed.
Well, interesting thoughts coming from Mr. Oppong Nkrumah. And you know that in the run-up to the 2020 elections, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is now the flag bearer of the NPP, who was vice president effectively for both terms when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was president, had indicated that the economy will grow and grow and grow, and there'll be jobs and jobs and jobs. At the time, Oppong Nkrumah was Minister for Information and then subsequently Minister for Works. Questions were asked of him. I remember at many of those Meet the Press series where the jobs are. And you know how our politicians always find a way to dance around the issues. We always will come back to talk about NDC and MPP. But this morning, there's a graduate at home who is looking forward to a job or is looking forward to a great opportunity that the person will not have or does not have at the moment. How do we contribute to help that individual get what they are looking for?
Yeah.
If the government of the day, John Mohammed's government, promised 133 and they are not doing 133, he's justified to ask that question. But then beyond asking that question, we must also begin to ask that what we did with, for example, one district, one factory, how many jobs were we able to get out of it? Because we gave monies to companies with the idea of expanding to employ some more people. I remember that in the dying days of the ex-war government, a figure of about 2.1 million jobs were thrown out there. What is the reality? Or what was the reality as of the time that Mr. Oppong Nkrumah and his team were leaving power? And what was the unemployment rate from when they took off and when they left off? So that if you had created a lot more jobs, the unemployment rate that you came to meet wouldn't have ballooned maybe twice or thrice before you left. So you have left a problem that another government is trying to solve. By all means, hold them by their feet, hold their feet to the fire and say that this your 133, yes, your 133, let it work. If you are setting up factories, they can run 3 shifts. I have worked in a factory before because I know we can work for 3 shifts. So somebody starts at 6, we close at 2. Somebody starts from 2, we close at 8. Somebody close at 8, and then we go all the way to the morning. I've worked in a biscuit factory before, so I know what I'm talking about. So we can. So that's why I'm going back to the conversation. How many of those factories did we set up? And how many of those factories employed people and how many people were employed? It is not enough to come and poo-poo what is being done because the job of the opposition is to oppose. But the real conversation is that today there's a young person who is looking for a job. How do we answer that conundrum? The government has delayed in trying to give the people the jobs. We are in February, right? 1 year has gone already. We are now setting the thing up. Now we are getting a big excuses here and there. Is that what the young people are looking for?
They want jobs.
Certainly no.
They want jobs.
They want jobs. So now, how do we make sure that the exchange rate, the interest rate comes further down? It used to be over 20%. Now it's come down to 15%. How do we ensure that it comes further down so that if I have some cool, maybe 50, 70,000 or maybe 100,000 lying somewhere, I can go and invest it in some poultry in Kukong Kitting, and then try and get maybe 5 or 6 people who can work with me, and then I can start paying them something, and then they will find jobs.
Yeah.
Those are the real conversations that I want people to have. Because I am a realist, proper. That at the end of the day, and that was why I was asking the questions in the past about one district, one factory, one village, one dam, and then there was a third one. Do you know that we even had planting for export and rural development? We had that. And I was fortunate to have been part of the launch of a coconut initiative that was supposed to, give our coconut plantations a boost and, make many things out of it, explore and blah, blah, blah. That didn't come to fruition. So the slogans, the politicians must know that the slogans are not what the people are looking for. Mm-hmm. It is the bread and butter issues. So today, if we call President Mahama and put him in the center and ask him, Mr. President, you promised the youth of this country jobs. How many of those jobs have you created? You promised that you were going to give, create 1,000 coders, right? In four years, 250 coders a year. Is that correct? 1 year has gone. Where are 250 coders? What are they doing? And how is the coding that they have, the lessons that they have acquired, helping other people to also get jobs? These are the realistic questions that we must ask. And I think that the government owes it a duty to us to be answering these questions. Because increasingly, most of the young people who voted out the MPP because they were frustrated. There were persons who would call into this show and say that, look, I'm a tailor. And I sit down sometimes the whole day and nobody comes to me. That's what I have decided to do. I am a tailor. Somebody calls in and says, look, I do ice kinky. And when the lights go off and on and on and off, the ice kinky gets spoiled. And I remember Auntie Adole Brown, she brought us 1,000 CDs to give to the person who sells ice kinky and all of that. So the real situations of people are there this morning. This morning, somebody will wake up and not eat.
Oh, that,
you get the point.
We did.
So the government has to come forward. But for Mr. Oppong Nkrumah to put it in a wholesale fashion like that, I think that's a bit disingenuous. Because you left a problem. And you have not told us how the problem you left is impacting the new government. The economy was in shambles. Now it's beginning to look better. So it will take some time. But then it also doesn't give the government of the day a leeway to come and be saying that let's enjoy honeymoon. No.
After a year
and a half, you don't have honeymoon anymore.
Yes.
Don't have honeymoon.
Absolutely. After a year, there is no room for complaint, unfortunately. Because the Ghanaian will not take it. After a year, when you come and you say, there was a mess here, there was a mess there, there was this, that, no Ghanaian is going to take it.
You see, the government of the day, I gave them an advice, I think on the 9th of January. I said, look, you have taken over the reins of power. You were at the transition table. Tell the people of the Republic of Ghana what the true situation is before you start any work at all. So that when you begin your work, you don't now start pausing intermittently to be giving us excuses. The government of the day, John Mahama's government, did not listen to that advice. They began working straight away without telling the people that, oh, this is how much we owed. Oh, this was the rot here at Cocoa. So we didn't know about the rot at Cocoa Board until farmers started getting their issues, and then Dr. Randy Abe is jumping from one place to the other, trying to tell everybody that this is what I came to meet at Cocoa Board.
So, I'm sorry, but nobody will be interested.
Nobody will be interested.
President is looking to be paid.
You should have told them at the beginning of your tenure that, look, we have come. When we entered the house, this is what we saw. So this is the situation. This is what we have to deal with while we try to fix what we said we were going to fix. You did not tell the people that. Then in the middle of the journey where the people start asking you up, but you told us we'll be going to our flower and we'll be getting there in 2.5 hours. You say, oh, there are roadblocks on the road, so it will take us 4.5 years. You are not being fair to the people, and you are not being fair to yourselves. So this is the time for them to actually come clean and tell the people that this is the situation, and this is our plan to fix it, and it will take us this much time to fix it. That's all. That's all. Whether 2-1, 3-1, or the gymnastics that they are doing in Parliament, it is not important to us. But what is important is where are the jobs.
Absolutely.
That's all.
But this government also has to be wary of the fact that we hold you based on promises you made.
Agreed.
And this morning I'm combing to get a copy of the past legislation with respect to the 24-hour economy.
Right.
And we will return to this subject matter in terms of a conversation, because it cannot be one that we will say 1 job, 3 shifts.
Right.
And after a year, we're being told that it's not compulsory. Agencies will be given incentives, and then they will want to. Yes, I understand that. Even on the front page, we are being told B5, is already engaged in 24-hour production services.
But you know, B5, for example, in the previous administration, was a beneficiary of
the one-day contract.
Exactly. Now, the idea that what I understand is that when you're giving some of those facilities, you're supposed to expand and then employ people. So now let's do the audit. How much did we give B5, if at all? What did they use the money for? Did they use it to expand? Did they use it to buy new machinery? How many people were employed from, at least within the Oppong area? The Oppong area. And then they will be making progress. This whole idea of government throwing money at things and not really doing a full audit, for me, is problematic. And I'll give you a classical example. So there's NEIP, right? And then there is
Maslock?
There's Maslock. Then there's what used to be the NBSS loans. Now it's become a GA.
Yes.
Right.
NBSSI.
Right.
It used to be NBSSI.
Good.
Now it's Ghana Enterprises Agency.
GA. Good. Now, Phil develops a very beautiful proposal. Takes it to GA. GA looks at it and says, oh, this is a fantastic thing. Phil, we think we can support you to do this. Okay, they give Phil a facility. Say, let's say $10,000. So Phil, take it and go and start something. Now, Phil, knowing that this is a good thing that will sell, will take the document, rework it, give it a new caption and whatever it is, take it to NBSSI or take it to NEIP. And then he will collect another maybe 10 or 15,000. Then he will take the same thing to Maslock and then change the name and then collect another one. So in the system, the conversation will be that we have created maybe 2,000 jobs or maybe 1,005 jobs, because each $10,000 that we give Phil, he created 500 jobs. So proposal 1 to GA, 500 jobs. Proposal 2 to Maslock, 500 jobs. Proposal 3 to NEIP, 500 jobs. So the government will calculate that and come and announce to us that we have created 1,500 jobs. But in real sense, it's only 500 jobs, because it's the same person who is collecting the money. So we don't have a structured system where we are able to identify that Philip has come to collect money. And so for which reason, if Philip comes again, we won't give the money to him. We'll give the money to Corey or to Nia Jianan. We have not done that. All we do is we are interested at politicians. They are interested as politicians to be throwing things at things and pushing out slogans. Oh, in Koko Kitikiti. Oh, how many do you want? Okay.
Then they give them.
And that was what happened in the previous administration, largely. And even before then. Beautiful ideas, but we don't find a way to actually monitor and evaluate them.
We're seeing the Nkukon Kitinkiti as well being rolled out currently. Every now and then we're getting reports of what is it, chickens and what have you been given out. The questions you're asking today of the previous administration, we can ask them right now.
Yeah.
And I bet you getting answers will be challenging.
The question is, the Agric Ministry led by the Honorable Eric Opoku and deputized by John Dumelo. What kind of public sensitization and training was done before the full rollout of Oppong Nkrumah? Because I've been into poultry before. If you're into poultry and you don't take care, and one or two of them get ill,
you kill all the birds.
By the time you come back the next day, all of them would have died. If you take good care of them too, you get your eggs, you sell your chicken, and you can hatch some more, and your farm will keep growing. What kind of education was given to the people who are not already into poultry, such that they will get a fair understanding of what they are getting into? Because in Oppong Nkrumah or rearing chickens or day-old chicks or taking care of them, it's not like selling biscuit. You get the point. So could we have done some public training for them to say that this is a small center that we have set up? If you are interested in Oppong Nkrumah, come. Let's put you there for maybe 3 weeks or a month. Give you intensive training, how to take care of the day-old chicks, what to do before you enter their pen, what to do before you get out of their hen coop, what to do before you, after you come out, what do you do? How much feed should you give them? If they are of this weight, how much should you feed? Blah, blah, blah. All of those conversations. Egg preservation.
Yeah.
Preparing or dressing the chicken, blah, blah, blah. All of those things. I don't think we have done much. And we are going back to the same mistakes that we made earlier with the guinea fowl situation.
Absolutely. And the ones that we've done training, what are the updates? National Coders Program, which was supposed to train young persons with skills in digital, what have you, and then they are rolled on. What's happened to the first batch? Have we seen a second batch coming?
You see,
I
said that. I said that. We said we're going to do 1,000 coders.
Yeah.
We have done 250. We say we have had too much or too many applications. We are vetting them. That's a good narrative. But I'm juxtaposing that narrative to when we said we were launching NEIP and that we're going to give 3,000 instant jobs. You remember that? At the conference center, where people ran through the glass and broke the glass at the conference center and hurt themselves. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Did those 3,000 jobs come? Those 3,000 jobs, instant jobs, that when you come to the place and you are qualified, you get a job there and then. Did those 3,000 jobs come? So governments must stop this whole sloganeering conversation.
No, because it will come back to bite you.
To the reality.
It will come back to bite
Look,
you.
if we decide that we have put together this land, this number of hectares of land, and we say we are just doing maize, Phil, take 2 bags or take X amount of seedlings or seeds, and this is your land. We'll give you every support. There's irrigation available. Your fertilizer is this, that. We'll teach you how to apply, blah, blah, blah. But this is yours. Plant, harvest, give us 40% of it. Take 60%. You can replant it and it takes 3 to 4 months for maize to gestate, and you can harvest and you are cool. Then you know you are in business. But when you just throw the things out like that, monitoring and evaluation becomes a problem. Because at the end of the day, Oppong Nkrumah is supposed to make sure that we don't go and be importing dead chicken from outside. Chicken that are maybe 10 years, 15 years, or maybe 20 years that have been kept in some freezer somewhere, then shipped down to us, say, at a cheaper rate, come and eat. We want to also feel the taste of our Ghanaian chicken here.
I want to taste the nutrients.
And if you have ever tasted our local chicken and you taste Obroni chicken, ours tastes better because we invest a lot in the feed. We put soya beans, we put the maize, we put the other additives in it. Yeah. So the chicken, they look bougie and dadabish. You get the whole point. Now, if you have not done all of those things, so that you know that you are monitoring and saying that all your secondary schools, all your local restaurants, they will become your customers so that they have a regular or constant supply of chickens, right? They have a constant supply of maize. They have a constant supply of rice. We are not going anywhere. This Burkina situation will come back over and over again. So then I ask again, what is the bigger game plan? Because people elsewhere, people farm during the night. People farm during the afternoons. People farm during the mornings. Where I live, there are pharmacies that run 24 hours, 7 days a week. So if you prescribe medicine for me at 12:55 a.m.,
You go to a pharmacy.
I will
and
get
it.
the medicine. Flexstar Pharmacy. They will give me medicine. It's there. If I'm driving home, it's there. It's there, right there.
I have one. I have D818. I have one.
There are many of them. So
Close to me.
people are doing the 24-hour economy. But you see, for example, that pharmacy, you get there, the whole place is locked up. There's a small pigeonhole and a
then
bell.
You get what you want.
But while
Safety
you are standing
concerns.
out there to buy, you are on your own.
Yeah. Oh, so the place I know, whilst we are, and that's around Manette Penny Station there. Whilst you are there, they have. I won't want to call him a security, but they have boys around.
You think
so that
the one at Ridge who was punched in the face and he fell down and collapsed?
He's not in uniform. That's why I said I don't want to call them security. So it's more like boys. They are not in any uniform, but they exist to survey the area.
Those people,
and then
they just need to hear 2 gunshots, they will run away. I'm saying that if we want to actively activate this, 24-hour economy thing, security is a very important part of it. When you go to my beloved Tamale, where I'm chief, right? There's a filling station that runs 247. It's on the stretch towards the airport. That filling station that runs 247 have people who are there who have sidearms. So if you're a man, come. I'm talking about that kind of security that you know that here, if I go there, I won't come back. So I will not go there if I have bad intentions. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. There are restaurants that can look. There are parties that hold in this country up till 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. And people still have energy to do. You can go to Rockstone's office to buy wachi.
Yeah.
Right?
And every time
Yeah. Up to the morning. Because he's created his niche market 24-hour. Others can also do that kind of thing. But they are afraid. They are scared. So if we want to do this 24-hour economy, get your security right, get your energy mix right, get your roads right, get your water right, give them loans that they can pay quickly, blah, blah, blah. And then the thing will roll. This 133 is not really too big. I mean, you travel outside and shops are running 24/7. You can walk in at any time and walk out at any time. So what is our own problem? What is our own problem? Meaning Bawana. Our own problem, what is it? What is our own problem?
dirty pure water as well this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's on the front page of the Republic Press. It's been some rumor that has been going around, and people are blaming their typhoid cases on dirty pure water. But there's a story on the front page. It's not attributed to any particular reporter.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's a desk report of a sort. It said residents of Kasua are raising alarm over what they describe as a surge in unregulated sachet water production, warning that the growing number of backyard pure water factories may be contributing to an increase in typhoid cases across the municipality. Investigations by the Republic Press indicates that several unregistered producers are operating from residential compounds, porches, and makeshift structures, packaging sachet water under questionable sanitary conditions. Many of these products carry unfamiliar brand names and lack proper certification details, including traceable addresses and batch numbers. The story continues on page 3 to say that the concerned residents say nearly every neighborhood in part of Kasua now hosts at least one small-scale sachet water operation. Some of these these places don't meet basic hygiene standards. You see them close to open drains, yet they are producing water people drink every day. Residents alleged, according to them, the market has been flooded with the sachet brands bearing suspicious and unfamiliar labels. In many cases, the names are strikingly similar to well-known established brands, differing only by slight changes in spelling, logo design, or color scheme, making it difficult for unsuspecting customers or consumers to detect the difference. These brands look almost like the original ones that people trust, and
so they are imitating
actually. Imitating, you know, like like you have a fugu, and then you can have fugu, or you know, you go to the market and you go and buy fugu, you have Adidas and Abibas coming, Charlie. No. But it's a serious matter.
It's a very serious. The fact that you see, it's always interesting. That Oliver Bakavamos, he's been saying this from time to time, that journalists who don't have the full backing of the state, don't have resources, are on limited budgets, are able to unearth some of these things. Yet investigative bodies, BNI, police, call it what, cannot unravel developments like these. So where's the FDA in all of this? People are packaging water in their homes, and they are imitating the real brands. And the paper is telling us in Kasua, almost every home or somewhere, the people are. Do we sit on radio and make it too simplistic? Solutions?
No, we don't make it too simplistic.
People are just genuinely not doing their jobs. We're having to have a conversation every day.
We don't make it too simplistic. I mean, there's a reason when people have issues, they come to me, whether they be teachers, doctors, nurses, some even lawyers.
Yeah.
All manner of people come to me when they have issues because they believe that, there's a scorecard. And he would talk about it. He would do the advocacy. He would dig further, find some further information, follow the lead, and take his time, and then he would get the issues resolved, because then he will get the ears of authority and all of that. So that's a scorecard. Now, the organizations that you're talking about have every single resource. Mawena, it's not too difficult to start manufacturing pure water, as they call it. Do you know that most people actually dig boreholes, right? They don't filter it. They dig boreholes. They don't filter it like the way it has to be filtered through reverse osmosis or any other process. All they do is to sift it to make sure that the water looks clean, and that's it.
And that's the part. Everybody, they just want the thing to look clean. And then
Sometimes
they are done.
you just have to see where the water is being produced, and you will be so sad that people drink it. And you see, when these things are chilled, and you are, for example, in a trotro, you're already stranded, you are struggling to get to your location. It looks appealing. You don't find anything wrong with it. So people are digging boreholes. Everybody is just digging boreholes. That comes with its own challenges. I will digress if I go there. Maybe I'll come there some few minutes later. But this borehole conversation should be first on the agenda of the Food and Drugs Authority. First also on the agenda of the Ministry of Health. First also on the agenda of the Ghana Health Service. First also on the agenda of the Bureau of National Investigations. First on the agenda of national security. You know why? Can you imagine? You know how long it takes for typhoid fever to go away?
No, you don't. Typhoid is a bigger
Right.
brand. A small case of cholera.
Look, and how many people, we have had that before, was it in 2013, 2014?
Yeah, I suffered that greatly.
We
and
had our
nearly
challenges
died
with it.
At Dansuma Polyclinic.
Can you imagine? Because we don't also have requisite facilities in terms of the WHO numbers, patient to doctor or health facility ratio.
Yeah.
We don't have it. We are lagging behind. So you don't want to have a situation where people are coming with pregnancy, people are coming with malaria, people are coming with all manner of things, and then you have typhoid fever also joining in, boom. Cholera also joining in, boom. Where are the beds? Where are the nurses? Where are the doctors? Where would they be? Who will take care of them? So it's a big national security conversation. I am not against people making money, but let us guide them.
This is not even about making money.
No.
You have to do what is
No,
right.
they are making money. Look, what they are doing, this is real gold for them. People are making money. This morning, if they produce, and I tell you, those who buy the machines, it's not easy to acquire the machines. It's not too difficult to acquire the machines.
Yeah,
It's easy.
70,000.
You get the machine, and sometimes, I'm telling you, they just fetch the water and straight into the rubber. They get the rubber printed for them. It's printed like in rolls. So they just feed it into it,
and then
they just start fetching the water. And
Then
sometimes
they'll be bagging it.
they bag what? They put it on the floor first. It's on the bare floor
Yeah.
first, before they go and find the rubber and come and put it inside. Now, guess what? When they finish putting it inside this one, they also don't store it in the proper place, because FDA has not certified their their place of production. Ghana Standards Authority, I forgot to mention them. They have also not come into the
Yeah.
picture. Now, when they store it in that ill place, if you have ever paid attention, me these days, sometimes when I buy pure water for shiggy reasons, I want to do my investigation, I just buy the water, open it, pour it away, open the sachet water, and you feel the inside. It's slimy, slippery. So all of that has gone into the tummy of the person. We made a law in this country that the plastic that we use for the production of pure water should be also biodegradable.
Yeah.
So that on its own, it would, because rubber takes 400 years or so to decay. So that one is one part of it. Production, storage. Then the guy who's coming to carry it, put it on the abuboya, he'll be roaming in the sun with it. That's also another problem. Plastic, water, sun, poison, carcinogen, clean. And then, as if that is not enough, they go and freeze it. When they finish, there's pure water who is selling it.
Yeah.
It's in the bowl, right? Whether she goes to use the washroom, it doesn't wash the hand. Whether she's sweating and she uses her index finger to wipe off the sweat from her face, blah blah blah. You look for pure water and she picks it and she gives it to you. And some people say, "Oh, I'll clean the portion that I will bite and that's it." You lie. So it's a big conversation, big issue, and this one, the FDA must not sleep on it. Ghana Standards Authority must not sleep on it. And
So
I'm not
the
sure.
Republic
I'm not
Press,
sure. I'm not sure Kasua is the only place.
There are
I'm
lots
not
of
sure.
other places
I'm not
where,
sure Kasua is the
where
only
this will
place.
be happening at.
No. I'm not sure Kasua is the only place. I'm not sure Kasua is the only place. So the story says, under Ghana's public health regulations, sachet water producers are required to register with the appropriate regulatory agencies, FDA and all of them, adhere to strict hygiene standards, and undergo routine quality testing. Failure to comply can result in fines, closure of facilities, or prosecution. Now, Marina Touchwood, imagine that somebody has tuberculosis, or somebody has typhoid, or another communicable disease, and he is the one or she's the one producing the sachet water for you, and intermittently coughing into the water before it's bagged. Lawu?
Zero standards, actually.
Lawu. And it's, look, our big men and women, they don't drink sachet water.
They don't drink.
Even the regular bottled water that we drink, our big men don't drink it.
Imports.
They're either importing Kirkland water to come and drink, or some other brand from the UK or US come and drink here, or they are buying the real bottled water, like not the plastic, not PET, the real bottle, right? The bottle that we know back in the day, like a Coca-Cola bottle or the real bottle. There are brands that have real bottle. That's what they drink. So we can die. The big men can live. That's where we are.
This morning, I think in terms of a list of individuals, you've mentioned them already. The Ghana Health Service, National Security, Bureau of National Intelligence, or National Intelligence Bureau. I hear the name.
Charlie, let's do BNI
again.
that we know.
The name is going to change again to BNI.
Yeah.
The Food and Drugs Authority, the National Standards Authority,
Right.
cannot, must not sit aloof whilst this continues.
They have taken their bath.
They are going to work.
I'm sure they have had breakfast. They have told their family people they are going to work to help to save Ghana. They will be back. They are riding in their Troskis. Some are sitting in taxis. Some are sitting in their boat, Uber, Yango, whatever it is. Some are driving official vehicles with the siren in front.
Absolutely.
They will get to work. When they get to work, Kasua is calling. Dirty pure water is calling. And it is not just Kasua. I use Kasua as a reference point.
And
but do
make
the
this wide
entire Ghana, please. We beg you. Don't kill the people who pay taxes to pay your salaries. Yo.
And you know what fascinates me is when we are complaining about systems and whatever that don't work, people in these offices join us to complain.
Yes. But
meanwhile, they are supposed to be fixing some part of the system which we are complaining about.
So I tell you something. Once upon a time, I came to say here that rent control, they are tenants.
Yeah, I recall that.
Some of my rent control friends called me and said, no, we are not tenants. I say, but the building is it for you. But it is in that same building that you go and talk about your rent issues, and they will be happy to deal with the issues for you. But they themselves, they are tenants. You know, they say, Charlie, Johnny, the thing you talk there, it be true. I say, it be people your job. It's a serious matter. It's a serious matter.
It's their job. They'll join us to complain as well. But
it's pure water business.
The problems continue to exist.
Speaking of which, when last did you see Sultana pure water? You remember that?
Hey,
the green Sultana pure water.
Yeah.
When last did you see it?
I haven't seen that.
But did you ever drink Sultana?
No, I'm not
It
sure.
was one of the early ones. After we moved away from Penyin.
Yeah, Penyin.
But we have come far, pal.
Yeah, at first they used to
do the
Penyin.
No. Even before
yeah,
that,
so there was a cap one.
Yeah. And it was not a group of caps. Oh.
It was one.
Just one cap, a Mansan cap for everybody. The cap with a bucket. Then they do the ice block and put it inside. They pour tap water. Yeah. And then, Charlie, we are all drinking. Everybody's drinking. Nobody will die.
So we've been
through it. We've progressed.
Like if you trace it, we've been looking for a certain level of quality for a very long time. From this cap to people discovering and tying. Then we saw the pure water.
pure water,
We've seen the
yeah.
bottled water, and water view.
Yeah. Now we're going back. Oh.
Yes.
We're going back because if what is happening now at
is the point I'm making.
We are going back to the penny
Of
era.
all the things we've been wanting to do, we fail to be able to put up the proper systems or the proper checks, because the systems exist, right?
Right.
The proper checks to ensure that there is a certain quality the average Ghanaian can benefit from. That's why, above all else today, persons who work at the Food and Drugs Authority, they should not close the day without clamping down on.
What we have today is branded penny de penny at Kasua. Branded penny de penny. Yeah. Because it's tap water. Branded
And
penny
they're
de
even
penny.
stealing people's brand names and slapping it on it without the necessary.
So they can
authorizations.
pick. Imagine that 3FM had a branded water.
There's
company.
somebody who
They'll say
3FM.
No, they will do FM3. But yours is 3FM. They will do FM3.
Oh, that is if they want to respect you. They can go and do their own roles of 3FM water and they'll just be producing.
No, FM3. Oh, Fubu versus Fugu.
Let's do.
Fugu Kambu.
Let's do sports. Billy Shen is here with the very latest. He's a very happy man. As the Arsenal.
Do you know that my striker has the most goal contributions in 2026 of all Premier League players?
Gyökeres?
Yeah, are you aware?
Oh, I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
So congratulations to you.
Yeah.
That means you're winning the league.
Oh, calmly.
Why argue when you can just wait, right?
Oh yeah, we wait.
Why
We
argue
wait.
when you
we
can
wait.
just wait? Bill Shen is here. He'll do sports for us, and then we'll get into other matters after sports.